Diabetes is a group of metabolic diseases characterized by hyperglycemia resulting from defects in insulin secretion, insulin action, or both. The chronic hyperglycemia of diabetes is associated with long-term damage, dysfunction, and failure and different organs, especially the eyes, kidneys, nervous cells, and blood vessels. Insulin is a hormone made by the pancreas that acts like a key to let glucose from the food we eat pass from the blood stream into the cell in the body to produce energy. Whole carbohydrates food are broken down into glucose in the blood. Insulin helps glucose get into the cell. Not being able to produce insulin or use it effectively leads to raised glucose levels in the blood, known as hyperglycemia. Over the long term, high glucose levels are associated with damage to the blood and failure of various organs and tissues. Around 10% of all people with diabetes have type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is caused by an autoimmune reaction where the body's defense system attacks the cells that produce insulin. As a result, the body produces very little or no insulin. The exact cause of this are not yet known, but are linked to a combination of genetic and environmental conditions. Type 1 diabetes can affect people at any age, but usually developing in children or young adults. People with type 1 diabetes need daily injection of insulin to control their blood glucose level. These people with type 1 diabetes do not have access to insulin, they will die. the risk factors for type 1 diabetes are still being researched. However, having a family member with type 1 diabetes slightly increases the risk of developing the diseases. Environmental factors and exposure to some viral infection have also been linked to the risk of developing type 1 diabetes. Diabetes is the most common type of diabetes, accounting for around 90% of all diabetes cases. It is generally characterized by insulin resistance, where the body does not fully respond to insulin. Because insulin cannot work properly, blood glucose level kept rising, releasing more insulin. For some people with type 2 diabetes, this can eventually exhaust the pancreas, resulting in the body producing less and less insulin, causing even higher blood sugar levels. Hyperglycemia. Type 2 diabetes is most commonly diagnosed in older adults, but is increasingly seen in children, adolescents, and younger adults due to rising levels of obesity, physical inactivity, and poor diet. The cornerstone of type 2 diabetes management is a healthy diet, increased physical activity, and maintaining a healthy body weight. Oral medication and insulin are also frequently prescribed to help control glucose levels. Gestational diabetes mellitus (GDM) is a severe and neglected threat to maternal and child health. Many women with GDM experience pregnancy-related complications, including high blood pressure, large weight babies, and obstructed labor. Approximately half of women with a history of GDM go on to develop type 2 diabetes within 5 of 10 years after delivery. The prevalence of high blood glucose in pregnancy increases rapidly with age and is highest in women over the age 45 years. Exposure to hyperglycemia in the womb predisposes children to a high risk of becoming overweight or obese associated with the development of type 2 diabetes. Some symptoms of diabetes are abnormal tears and dry mouth, lack of energy, tiredness, blurred vision, recurrent infection in the skin, slow healing wounds, frequent urination.
Good day. My name is Yulimar Flores Peña. I want to talk to them of feeding of a person with diabetes. The International Diabetes Federation will feed place to the Mediterranean diet as the most suited for diabetes after evaluating 41 diets. Introduction. The place, amount, and time of diabetes feeding plans are based on the result of laboratory tests and some anthropometric measurements. These are some laboratory tests. This is equation for calculating energy needs according to their World Health Organization. General objective: modify eating habits to improve control and achieve an acceptable state of health. Specific objectives. Number 1. Ideal weight according to age and pathology. Number 2. Metabolic control. Glucose and HbA1c. Number 3. Optimal serum lipid concentration. LDL, HDL cholesterol and triglycerides. Number 4. Prevent obesity in some pathology. Number 5. Improve the state of health through good nutrition and physical activity. In general, the foods that type 1 and type 2 diabetes most consumed are the following table. The diet is based on proteins, low-seeking, vegetables, and complex carbohydrates, minimal amounts. For example, fish 7%, vegetables 20%, carbohydrates 10%, no liquid, fats, trans, gluten, liquid, fats to increase HDL cholesterol, omega-3, omega-6, omega-9, olive oil, coconut, avocado. Conclusion. The key is to make an excellent distribution of these macronutrients according to their characteristics of pathology, weight and age of diabetic person in general. Thanks for your attention.
Hello, my name is William Charlie and today I am going to expose about diabetic population training. The first point consists in a cardiovascular examination to detect possible complications with an exercise. This to avoid problems in the future. The second point are types of exercise. The types of exercise are aerobic exercise such as swimming, running or cycling. Are that usually have a greater and more important polycem effect. The polycem effect are decreased blood glucose and explosive exercise such as sprint or freaking are usually associated with a lower polycem effect. The recommended training are 10 to 20 minutes of essential muscular strength, 5 minutes of aerobic warm-up, 50 to 16 minutes of aerobic exercise, and finally 5 to 10 minutes of a low intensity. The benefits of sport practice are increasing glucose utilized by muscle, better insulin sensitive, reduce daily insulin needs, control weight and avoid obesity, maintain blood pressure and cholesterol levels, avoid anxiety, and reduce the incidence of cardiovascular disease.